my executive session, and at this time, we would like to commence our first budget hearing. Dr. Bracken, would you please come forward?
All right, good evening. So I'll provide a brief overview of what this budget includes. The budget mirrors the overarching theme of this year, which is getting back to the basics, being disciplined in our decisions and spending, and focusing on the long-term sustainability of the district. So we ensured a more transparent baseline of funding for every school, driving $45 million more towards the schools concentrated in elementary, and increased spending in core classrooms. Employee benefits were the single largest cost driver for FY26, with more than $26 million going towards increased health benefits and TRS rates. We cut a net 187 positions from the central office, with an overall net decrease to central office spending of $3 million. Utilized a zero-based budgeting approach for signature programs and turnaround. We were able to reduce current year spending in order to expedite a textbook adoption while still funding a step increase for next year. And more importantly, we've reduced the dependence on fund balance by more than 78%. Overall, the budget that we're going to be asking you to take action on tonight is about $1.84 billion.
Thank you, Dr. Bracken. Do we have public comment? Mr. Wilborn, do we have public comment regarding the budget hearing?
We do.
Okay, you can go ahead and read the rules for public comment.
Good evening and welcome to the public comment portion of tonight's agenda. In just a few moments, the board will begin hearing from those who signed up to speak by 5:50 p.m. The board welcomes your comments, but before we get started, please take note of the following guidelines on how public comment is conducted. The board has allocated 1 hour for public comment, and each speaker will only be allowed to speak once for a total of 2 minutes, unless additional time was yielded during the sign-up period. The board may elect to hear community comments in any order or sequence and is not limited by the order of sign-up sheets. All speakers presenting highly detailed information are asked to put their comments in writing, and comment cards are available for those wishing to do so. In order to maintain meeting decorum, follow appropriate protocols, protect the confidentiality of students, and ensure impartiality, the board will not hear comments on matters involving individual students, parents, or the character, professional competence, or physical or mental health of any individual. Also, the board will not hear public comment on personnel matters that specifically include the names or titles of employees. This includes, but is not limited to, contract non-renewals, position abolishment, the hiring or firing of staff, and investigative proceedings regarding allegations of misconduct. Comments regarding personnel issues should be sent in writing to Atlanta Board of Education, 130 Trinity Avenue, Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30303, or via email at boardcomments@atlantapublicschools.us. And finally, in order to maintain meeting decorum and to ensure all comments can be heard by the board, applause, cheering, jeering, or speech that defames individuals or disrupts the meeting should be refrained from and may be cause for removal, adjournment, and meeting or suspension from attending future Atlanta Board of Education events, hearings, meetings, and other proceedings. With that being said, I'd like to call the first 3 speakers to the microphone for the budget hearing meeting. Mr. Cosco Jones, Ryan Clark, and Mr. Nathaniel Dyer. Cosco Jones, Ryan Clark, and Nathaniel Dyer, please come to the podium. Okay. Ryan Clark. Okay, Mr. Dyer.
Good evening. As it relates to the budget, I see that one thing that stands out, charter school enrollment has increased by 3,429. Traditional decreased by 7,063. Okay, you bumped up the budget to 1.84. And I saw that, and I took a brief look at it. The charter budget was decreased by $1 million. Now, I don't know if that's trying to show people who show certain people that, hey, you're making a difference, but you still have no say-so over the business of what's going on in charters and your partner schools. They have free reign to do whatever they want to do. So until you choose that, doesn't matter how much money you take away or put into it, it doesn't matter. Because the bottom line is they're draining the population from the traditional schools. Now, I will say one thing about them. They use your money to put up billboards saying recruiting to come to, I say KIPP, for example. You do none of that. I haven't seen it. Now, of course, you bring people down, but you might need to try some more tactics as far as recruitment. But here's some components for success with that. You got to have a better level of service. So far, the results have been unsatisfactory. I'll talk about the 36% literacy rate of reading. And then culture. Got to have a culture of success. It's one thing to bring people and children down here, and then again, they get treated like nothing when they get back to their schools. And then you must have a challenging environment. And I'll start with some of these IEPs where little black Johnny will learn to cut shapes, but then the other child, she will read a paragraph. One is more challenging than the other. So I just like to say, let's put some more energy and effort behind who you recruit, who you bring in, and then everything else should work out for itself. But we must have a deeper cut on the charters and accountability. Thank you.
Miss Laura Hawk. To whom? Okay, so you can't waive your time. Madam Chair, that concludes public comments of budget hearing.
Thank you. And this concludes our budget hearing. Now we will go into our board recognition. And this evening, we would like to recognize Shanti Das, the founder of Silence of the Shame, a prime alumna of Benjamin E. Mays High School, and her recognition of her impactful work in mental health advocacy as part of Mental Health Awareness Day. Shanti has become a national respected mental health advocate, particularly in the underserved communities through Silence the Shame. She's worked to eliminate stigma, reduce health disparities, and to promote mental health. The organization leads community conversations, self-care events, evidence-based training, and training like mental health, first aid, and QPR, with the focus on BIPOC, LGBTQ individuals, and other vulnerable groups. Her works align with the efforts to uplift mental health awareness and amplify voices within the APS family who are creating real change. I believe her story and leadership would resonate strongly with our students and staff, and we have Ms. Das here. We would like to present you with a token of our appreciation for your recognition. I'll be down.
Good evening, everyone. I'll be really brief, but first of all, Silence to Shame was something that was born from a complete place of vulnerability. I'm a proud APS graduate. I attended Peyton Forest Elementary School, Southwest Middle School, and the Benjamin E. Mays High School. And I want to thank Erica and the entire board for this recognition. But on a serious note, my father died by suicide when I was just 7 months old, before I even came into the APS school system. And it was the love of the teachers and the students and just the camaraderie of growing up in Southwest Atlanta. And I talk about APS and the pride that I have. And even when I was going through my depression, you know, people supported me. I didn't know how to talk about it, how to name it, the grief from my dad's suicide, but I didn't feel like an outcast. And I just want to say, you know, the suicide rates over the last 2 decades have been up 30%, particularly for Black youth. And this work is really critical. Having counselors in the schools to support the students is so very important. I am grateful to the Atlanta Public School System, the Board of Education, Mayor Dickens, who has partnered with Silence to Shame, my nonprofit, to do more to educate the community, both parents and students. And so just listen to your students, listen to kids, and listen to your family members. You know, it's okay not to be okay, but what's not okay is to get the help when you really need it. And so let's lead from a place of love and compassion. This is my 10-year anniversary of almost taking my own life 10 years ago. And so I'm looking at this as my year of rebirth. And so when you said you wanted to honor me, it just made my heart full, because I know God has placed me in the right place that he wanted me to be in. I walked away from a huge career in the entertainment business to be a servant leader to help people silence the shame in their lives. So thank you for this recognition on behalf of Silence to Shame and every student that is struggling, that needs the support and just may be afraid to get the help. So let's make sure that we wrap our arms around them and get them the support they need. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations again. I'd like to take an opportunity to recognize some very special individuals that have been serving the district for some time. This group, they're being recognized for serving for 35 years or more as teachers in Atlanta Public Schools. And so as I call your name, if you come up, we'd love to recognize you. Tremendous service to the district and to the district students. Deborah Settles, Garden Hills Elementary School. I have to give you a minute. You were first out the gate. Everybody else got to follow that up. I don't know. Yvette Jackson from Washington High School. Robert Hall from Usher Collier Heights Elementary School. Vicki Johnson, Usher Collier Heights. Joelle K. Glorvigan from Morningside Elementary. You got a few there. Joel. Denitra Henderson, Parkside Elementary. Kristen Guthrie from Mary Lynn. Marshanita D. Jones Huff from Maynard Jackson High School. Rachel Lightfoot from Rivers Elementary School. Debbie Huey from Burgess Peterson Elementary School. Catherine Price from Bolton Academy. Deborah E. Johnson from North Atlanta High School. Sharon D. Hubbard Belcher from Mays High School. And Yvonne D. Tuck Stafford from Douglas High School. Please congratulate these teachers on between 35 and 40 years in Atlanta Public Schools. Yeah, deserves a round of applause. Thank you all again. We'll have to do the math on how many total years of experience we have in the room tonight.
Okay, now at this time, we will resume our public comment. Will the first three speakers? Would the first three speakers please come to the podium? Ryan DeBar, Christy Beam, and Christy Bartolotti. Please come to the podium.
I lower this? Okay.
You can go ahead.
Okay. Thank you for your time tonight. My name's Ryan DeBar. I'm a student at British Pearson Academy in the 5th grade, and today I am proposing to you the importance and the idea of having an art-based middle school and high school in the APS community. So I believe it's important to have art-based middle school and high school because learning through the arts gives you the opportunity to learn new ways of thinking by making. I have always drawn to stop my overthinking and to calm down. To me, it's extremely relaxing to use your hands and to move your body when learning. Art helps me find new ways of using things, and it helps me understand what I'm feeling. It lets me use my creativity to come up with new ideas, new words, and new words. Art helps me open up my mind. I believe it's important that art helps you learn new things by using your creativity to work through the mistakes that you make. I'd enjoy to learn from famous and professional artists who could come to an art-based school. Atlanta has so many famous creative people. This will help students like me get scholarships to go to prestigious art schools such as SCAD. Thank you for your time and all you do for our APS community. I hope you'll consider supporting an art-based middle school here in APS.
Hello, I'm Dr. Christy Beam, and I'm the lead founder for the Academy for Innovation in Medicine, AIM, a proposed public APS charter school developed in partnership with Morehouse School of Medicine and Grady Health System. And we support students from middle school to med school. I was so excited to see this afternoon's CTAE presentation, which affirms the urgent need for AIM's model and the advantage of an APS authorization, one that complements and adds value to the current system offerings. Over the past few months, we've engaged in multiple discussions with Dr. Johnson and his team about the need and the model. We've submitted a comprehensive proposal in March and shared further details throughout the petition process. AIM directly addresses the needs shared this afternoon by deepening the APS partnerships with two of the most prominent and prestigious healthcare entities in Atlanta. It increases the district's capacity for health science pathways. It addresses Mr. Pace's comment about leveraging additional grant funding that we have secured, and it prepares students for healthcare pathways beginning in 6th grade. This early start directly addresses the concerns Ms. Johnson raised about ensuring that students are not only ready for these pathways, but that seats are available. AIM's model intentionally integrates strong, experienced leadership, student support services, rigorous academics, work-based learning, and community partnerships, precisely elements that Dr. Johnson emphasized as essential to this success. We are confident that AIM will provide a high-quality, accountable programming at a lower cost to the district while serving as a benefit of both Atlanta Public Schools and its students. Thank you for your time, consideration, and support. We look forward to being a part of Atlanta Public Schools. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for your time today. My name is Krista Bertolotti, and my wife and I have called Southwest Atlanta home for over a decade. We have 2 children in the Washington cluster there. I am not here as a representative of the entire West End. While momentum has been building around the future of the People Street parcel, this project has not provided a space for genuine community envisioning or meaningful participation to shape the future of West End. While APS Facilities and AUDC hosted another meeting, they didn't do any additional outreach, something as simple as a door tag or mailer notifications or any additional communication to warrant, quote, another meeting, other than to check a box. You all are elected officials, and we believe you will deep dive into projects and all proposals. To set the room, City of Atlanta presents for about 40 minutes on a plan someone has already come up with. There have been adjustments since the beginning of this project. Originally, there were 0 3-bedrooms. There are now 30. There were 0 for-sale parcels. There are now 11. I personally have had more one-on-one neighbor conversations about this project than there have been community meetings. Most folks do not realize that APS does not pay property taxes. When I share this with residents, this would be a for-profit rental project on a parcel that doesn't pay property taxes. Most sit back and soak it in. We continue to deep dive and reflect about how this as-is project would be more acceptable if this APS proposal was housing for Atlanta teachers, Atlanta's first responders, and families facing economic hardship within the Washington cluster. That's not what this is. As of now, there are only 30 3-bedroom rental units, 20 2-bedroom rental units. That's a total of 50 2- and 3-bedroom units, and only about 10 of them will be, quote, below AMI. But if we want to dig down into what HUD's AMI is for Atlanta now, it's over $114,000. Let's stay focused alongside Dr. Johnson by remaining steadfast in his board's commitment to efficiency and effectiveness. Thank you.
At this time, with Dr. Ryan Clark, Durian Maxwell, and Rosalind Elliott, please come to the podium.
My name is Darian Maxwell. I'm a proud parent, former classroom teacher, and passionate advocate for public education. I'm here tonight to speak to the urgent need for greater access to high-quality public school options, especially at the middle and high school levels. I have 2 daughters, one of whom will be entering middle school soon. Like many families, we spend a lot of time thinking about what kind of education will truly support who they are, their interests, personalities, their potential. We've had countless conversations around the kitchen table asking what kind of future we want for them, and more important, and just as importantly, what kind of school will help them achieve that future. Well, right now, it's a harder question to answer than it should be for the residents of this city. Like many families, we've been asked to choose between schools around us that don't quite fit their needs or our family's needs. We considered everything, like me pausing my career to homeschool, leaving the community that we love and have lived for the last 15 years, paying for private school that we can't afford, or whatever, looking for options outside of the district. And those aren't actually options, and that shouldn't be the only paths that families have. As a former teacher, I've seen this one-size-fit-all fail many students, and unfortunately, I don't want my children to be within that. And not every student is in the same environment. So, like I said, we need just more schools that are rigorous, relevant, and responsive to the world that our students are growing into right now. That's why I was excited to hear about AIM. It's exactly the kind of public high school that I'm hoping for as an option for the people in my neighborhood. Challenging, caring, connected to real jobs. At AIM, students can explore medical careers in high school, starting as early as middle school, earning, they can leave with industry recognized credentials, get real world experience that prepares them for college or the workforce or whatever they choose to do. it's not just a diploma or graduate, they're asking a direction, and they're connected with some of the most prestigious, institutions here in the city. And so giving them that connection to the city is important. Thank you.
Darian Maxwell. Rosalind Elliott. My apologies, Rosalind.
Good evening. My name is Rosalind Elliott, and I'm a proud graduate of the Booker T. Washington High School. This is my 50th high school reunion. I'm a proud graduate of Spelman College as well. I serve on the Board of Commissioners for Atlanta Housing, but I'm here today to talk to you all about the leadership at Washington High School. We're here as alumni to support the new principal at our school. I just want to let you all know that we're here to do whatever we can as alumni to make sure that our school is supported and the needs of our students are met. I just want to let you all know that we're here in support of and to take care of our kids at Washington High School. Thank you.
The next three speakers, Davita Huntley, Margie Giles, and Lathea Washington.
Hey y'all, it's me again. As a proud fifth-generation Black mother, a legacy resident of Southwest Atlanta, the mother of a 2022 Booker T. Washington High School graduate, I come to you grounded in hope and fueled by the love for our children and our community. Right now, Atlanta stands at the powerful crossroads. Much like the spirit of the 1996 Olympics, we are approaching another moment that will define this generation. The FIFA World Cup in 2026. This is our era. And just like in 96, it will take all of us united to rise to the occasion. That means no more silos, no more isolated efforts. It's time to come together, families, educators, leaders, students, neighbors, and alumni, to lift up our schools, our kids, and each other. I am fully committed to walking alongside this board, Chair Erica Mitchell, and Superintendent Dr. Johnson, and every leader and teacher within Atlanta Public Schools. We share our one mission: to do the absolute best we can for our kids. In the Washington cluster and across APS, whether the leadership is new or returning, they will be supported, uplifted, and held with care, because leadership cannot thrive in isolation either. Let's rally around the call to get back to the basics, as Dr. Johnson reminds us, putting students first, strengthening the foundation, and doing the work together. Atlanta, our children are watching. Let's show them the power of unity. Be well.
Good evening. I am Madre Giles with the Georgia Federation Public Service of Employees. Tonight, I am here to give a voice to the 700 employees who are about to be laid off because you don't have enough money to pay them. We give it a fancy sounding name like FY26 Budget Position Abolishment. But if you talk to your affected employees, it feels as if they're being fired, and it hurts like hell. You don't have the money because you've chosen to continue subsidizing KIPP's failing charter schools and to hand deliver a substantial portion of APS assets and students directly to Purpose Built. Two Carver schools are operating side by side. One is APS and the other is Purpose Built. Make it make sense. Well, the party is over and the check has come due. This bill is now being paid on the backs of APS workers and at the expense of students. Purpose-built and Kemp are laughing all the way to the bank. Many people in the community believe that the old head politicians, greedy developers, and highly paid lobbyists have exploited APS for their personal gain. For us, this has always been about a money grab. It has never been about the education of our students. In any event, the experiment has failed. Bring our schools, students, and staff back to APS. This will be a fight for our community and students, and our whole hearts are in it. Thank you.
To the esteemed board, Dr. Johnson, and parents, we extend our deepest and thoughtful decision made in appointing the leadership to serve the children at Booker T. Washington High School. My name is Lolita Washington. I'm the president and founder of the Alumni Association, which I established in 2006. My goal is to make sure that the children and the students at Washington are equipped with the necessary tools they need to be productive students in the classroom. We have continuously offered college tours, meals for the children, meals for the athletic program, snacks for students on the weekends, and we make sure that their daily activities is not disrupted during school. We've raised over $30,000 last year, 2024, from our gala, which we add that monies to support the necessary needs that the students at Washington High School. We want to make sure that the children that walk the halls of Washington will be in a place where they feel safe, secured, and that they are given the necessary resources that they need to be educated. Our commitment is unwavering. We're here to collaborate and not change. We're here to build and not dismantle. We stand ready to ensure the construction and the contribution positive towards the progress for our beloved institution. It is our sure priority to provide the students with the best possible advantages that we can offer them as alums. To the parents, we ensure that as the alumni from 2006, that our school will support the principal that has been appointed at the school, Ms. Crooms, her faculty, and fostering a safe, nurturing, and academic enrichment environment for the children. We recognize the responsibilities come with shaping young minds, and we wholeheartedly commit to playing a part in assuring that each student has access to resources, mental health, and supporting the needs that strives to them. We have a driver, and her name is Ms. Crooms, and we're here to support. Thank you.
The next three speakers are Mr. Bernard Burrell, Kimberly Dukes, and Nathaniel Dyer.
Good evening, Chair, members of the board, and superintendent. My name is Raynard Burrell. I'm the executive director of the Federation of Public Service Employees. As the school year ends, we will name our FPSE, APS Teacher, and APS Assistant Principal of the Year. The finalists for teacher are Mr. Moses Kilpatrick for Thurl High School, Dr. Tracy Ann Wilson for Booker T. Washington, Ms. Condra Shotwell for Kimberly Elementary, Ms. Chelsea Vines, Beecher Hills, and Ms. Tucker. The finalists for our assistant principal are Dr. Angela Moore for Thurl, Dr. Shalanta Patton at Agnes Jones, Dr. Rashard Bennett for Young Middle, Ms. Wanda Moore for Young Middle, and Ms. Shamira Buford for South Atlanta. We will appoint a charter review committee task force to recommend actions to superintendent as well as the school board regarding APS failing charter schools. This task force will include educators, students, parents, as well as community leaders. Those interested in participating can contact us directly. Dr. Marclette Ellison, a 25-year educator with experience in leadership roles in both public as well as charter schools, will chair the task force, bringing invaluable knowledge and insight. Later this month, we will also recognize some of our D9 educators. I will reach out to our Divine Nine board to invite you to participate. Our Teacher of the Year will also be receiving $2,500, as well as we will be doing a project for her classroom, or his classroom. Our Assistant Principal of the Year will receive $500, as well as we'll be doing a special project for their school. Thank you for your time, and look forward to hearing from you.
Good afternoon, Board. Good afternoon, Dr. Johnson. I want to come tonight to welcome all of the principals that you guys have hired in APS, but I also want to address the politics that I think came along with it. I was invited and I was thankful to be a part of the community panel, but I want to make sure we're putting the right people into place. The community is not the expert when it comes to hiring the principals. It is our job to put together a profile, because a lot of the policies come into place when you pull us in. And also just want to make sure the community understand it is our job to work with the schools to build what their profile look like and to tell them what it is that we need for our schools so that we can kind of trust the process. Also, it's your job to build the relationships with the community so that we can be honest and we can trust that you guys will make the right selection. Because what I do want to see is the politics being removed out of the education in the space in APS. I don't have a lot to say tonight, but I do want to make sure you guys fully understand that you should rethink about what that process look like. I'm a community member. I want to be on every panel you got, but we cannot continue to do stuff to please people. We got to make sure we're doing stuff to educate kids, and it's we're doing what's in the best interest for the children. I ain't write no speech for y'all tonight. I spoke from my heart, but I want to make sure y'all understand it's a lot of policy in our education. I'm a mom with 10 kids in APS, and I'm sick of it. I want the kids to be educated, and I'm sick of the politics. You guys have a good night.
Attention, wake up. You've given yourselves a raise. Pat yourselves on the back. 1.84 billion of it is yours. But you still have the 36% reader proficiency, which you're going to have to deal with. Now, it's going to be a bad look if you can't overcome that hurdle and you have $1 billion budget. Just want to make an observation. A person informed me an issue at Howard Middle School where the I'm straightforward, black teachers in math are being intimidated by, let's see, the demographics are 46.5% white, 31% black, the white community. You know, not all of them, but there's a portion wanting them to change grades, intimidation. So please make note of that. We have 2 new principals coming into the Washington cluster. Okay, I just want to be clear. Right now, Washington stands at 422 out of 458. Okay, that's 17,528 per pupil. Let's go to Hollis. Let's see, 1242 out of 1248 ranking. So that's a highly developed area. Things don't add up when you have that. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Howard Middle. They're 51st, and 13,000. So you have a lot of work to do. Please give your principals, the leadership in the Washington cluster all the support they need, and we will hold everybody accountable. Don't worry, we're going to work with them, but we must move the dial above and beyond this ignorance. Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair, that concludes our public comments.
Thank you, community members, for speaking with us this evening. We always appreciate your feedback and engagement. Please note that for stakeholders who cannot attend our monthly meeting, we have launched our board meeting recap video, which can be found on our website. We want to provide you with every resource available to facilitate stakeholder engagement. As an example, to ensure that stakeholders' engagement, we are creating Facilities Master Planning Task Force to support our planning efforts this year. The task force will play a critical role by ensuring school communities representation and the effective communication updates. This task force will meet at least 3 times, May 8th, August 5th, October 9th, 2025. To ensure comprehensive representation from APS community, the task force will include school representatives from the GO team and community representatives selected by the Atlanta Board of Education and Superintendent. If you would like to be considered for this task force, please visit www.atlantapublicschools.USA/APS Connects. Larger community engagement will also take place across neighborhoods and stakeholder groups. So this task force will not be the only opportunity for your voice to be heard. Now I will turn it over to Tolton Pace, Board Member Tolton Pace, for his remarks regarding National Principal Day.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a brief acknowledgement for some of our amazing educators, of course, in the district. Last Thursday, May 1st, was National School Principals Day. And so on behalf of the Board of Education, I wanted to take a moment to sincerely thank and honor all of our incredible principals. And if we made a note, last month actually was National Assistant Principals Week. So we'll put them together and acknowledge and honor both. You are the heart and the soul of our schools, along with your staff, guiding not only our students and our staff there and the educators in the building, but also shaping the culture, the safety, and the success of your entire school community. Your leadership as principals goes far beyond managing schedules or policies. It's the way that you show up every day with your dedication, your empathy, and your vision. You inspire teachers and staff, support families, and most importantly, you create environments where our students can thrive. So on behalf of the entire school board, thank you for the tireless work that you do, often behind the scenes, to make our schools strong, safe, and welcoming places to learn and grow. We see you, we appreciate you, and today we celebrate you. Happy National School Principals Day.
Thank you. Now we will hear our report outs from conferences and committees. It's on you, Vice Chair McDonald.
This month, Board Member Baldwin will report from Board Development.
Ooh, I get to start. Thank you, thank you. We had a packed house. We had a packed house for the meeting. And in that meeting, we discussed the board's self-evaluation, which has been distributed or will be distributed to the board to review. And the intent of this is to take a look at where we are and set some goals in terms of where we want to be and hold ourselves accountable. We also reviewed a first round of financial protocols with just putting everything into one place to understand really what are the financial protocols that are aligned with the board and to get alignment amongst ourselves. And then we reviewed training hours in our board travel report. We will meet next month. The date is to be determined because right now both board development and audit need to hold meetings. I chair them both and they tend to happen at the same time. So we are going to work with Mr. Wilburn to figure out which day it will be. Right now also the date that is assigned, that third Thursday of the month, is also Juneteenth. And so we'll need to make sure that the time aligns with the committee and with staff.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Katie, can you give us a budget update, please?
Real quick. Want to give a shout out again to Dr. Bracken and the budget team and Dr. Johnson and all those who worked so hard on this budget. We will be taking a tentative vote tonight on the budget. We are in May. We have to finalize the budget in June. A lot of work was done to restructure central office, almost $30 million in savings there, while being protective of the fund balance. As everybody knows, we had a $100 million gap going into planning for the 2026 budget. So much work has been done. We've had a lot of really good conversations and discussions in Budget Commission, and we encourage the public to continue to stay engaged. We had a great presentation tonight. Go to slide 30. It really tells our story. But you'll hear more about that at tomorrow night's public information session at 6 o'clock. It's virtual. There's another one May 13th at 6:30. It's also virtual. You can register to attend. You can find that information as well as all the information on the budget webpage on the district website. So please continue to stay engaged. Feel free to ask us questions and appreciate all the hard work of so many folks on this budget.
Thank you. Thanks, Katie. Chair Mitchell, can you give an update on policy, please?
Yes. Policy Review Committee met on April 21st and considered several district policies. We were able to recommend the board to give final approval to adopt Board Development Policy Committee. Board Development Committee policy chaired by Retta Baldwin. We reviewed but took no action on, give me 1 second here. District social media communication policy. We also discussed policy related to board member development opportunities, and we'll continue to work on it next month. We do meet next month on May 13th, which is a Tuesday at 12 p.m. That concludes my committee report out.
Great, thank you. Johnson, for your remarks.
Absolutely, thank you. I briefly want to recap the work session. There were 3 presentations, one on strategic plan, one on finance, and one on student outcome focused governance to provide updates. Look forward to the retreat tomorrow. As we look at where we are, in particular in the area of literacy, there's a lot of work to be done. We look forward to continuing the learning through Power Up Summer Learning. Currently, there are about 7,000 students that are registered. One of the things we're looking at is not just how we get students to register, but how we get students to retain, to stay with us throughout the duration of that program, which is a little less than a month long. May 15th is the deadline to register, so we'd ask folks to share the word, spread the word. We literally are on a weekly basis looking at the number of students that are eligible and the number of students that are signed up so that we can push students to that. And obviously, Dr. Butler and team are trying to make sure the learning is as meaningful as possible. Today we'll be presenting the budget, but the initial read, which we had hearing, we really remain committed to being as efficient and effective as possible. And there's more work to be done, in particular at CLL. In particular, we look at efficiency, but also the effectiveness and in what areas can we make our impact clearer to and for schools. We ask you continue to stay aware and stay alert in regards to, say, the district video series. I believe the last one around family engagement and partnerships is to come. And then I want to take a moment just to, and I'm going to ask you to stand. You're here, but we're making some recommendations for consideration today around principals of schools, and would like to just have them stand where they are and give you a hand as the board takes under consideration. Dr. Adib Shakir for Hollis Innovation Academy. Christy Reese, Kimberly Elementary School. Summer Clayton, E. Rivers Elementary School. I don't know that Clayton's here. Brian Barron, Morningside Elementary School. Angela Mitchell, North Atlanta High School. Tawana Crooms from Washington High School. And Charmaine Jennings, Frederick Douglass High School. All right, here in a little bit, if the board approves you, some of y'all are ready to work, but it's time to get to work. The work you do, as Board Member Pace said, is so critical, so important to and for our district, and principalship matters. Your work, teachers have the most significant effect on student learning. Principals have a significant effect on making sure that we retain and hire really talented teachers and the culture that you establish in the building. So we are grateful to and for you and your leadership. Chair, this concludes my remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Would you please present the consent agenda?
Yes, thank you again, Madam Chair, members of the board. I am pleased to submit the consent agenda items numbers 5.1A through 5.4A for your consideration and approval.
Thank you. Now, at this time, we'll ask board members to make sure you logged into Assembly, because we're getting ready to start doing the voting.
Ooh.
So we'll just take a moment and we will move forward. Thank you.
Reveal Bosco, your code. Yep.
All right. Is there a motion to approve consent agenda item 5.1A through 5.4A?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Vice Chair McDonald. Second, I heard Board Member Brooks and Board Member Pace.
That's right.
Ms. Murray, would you please open the polls? Well, approved. Now we will move to discussion and action. The following will be discussed: FY 2026 tentative budget adoption, first read, and board member salaries and compensation, final adoption. Dr. Johnson, would you please present the budget adjustment information?
Absolutely. Let me start by re-elevating the comment that board member Katie Howard lifted earlier. Appreciate the work of our Dr. Bracken, our entire finance team, and department heads as we have started down this road and continue in the work around the budget, which will be a bit of an evolution continued over the next several months. But a lot of work has gone to get us to this point. So tonight we're asking the board to consider approval of the FY26 tentative budget with the total appropriation amounts presented as follows: general fund approximately 1.3 billion, special revenue approximately 81 million, and SPLOST 413 million. And school nutrition, 42, almost 43 million, and student activity fund of 4.5 million. The total appropriation for all funds presented is $1.84 billion. This budget mirrors the overarching theme of this year: getting back to the basics, being disciplined in our decisions and spending, and focusing on the long-term sustainability of the district. In this budget, several things have been accomplished. We've been tried to ensure a very transparent baseline for every one of our schools, driving 45 more million to the budget concentrated on elementary schools and core classrooms, cutting a net of 187 positions at the district for almost $30 million to create more efficiency and effectiveness at the district, using a zero-based approach for signature programs, eliminating the general fund transfer to school nutrition, funding a step increase for our employees, and frankly reduce the spend on the fund balance by 78% or roughly $60 million. So significant work has been done, and also we'll kick off this week the facility master planning work, which is all perfect timing as we are in strategic planning session. So thank you, Madam Chair. That concludes my remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Is there a motion to adopt the tentative budget first read for FY 2026?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Board Member Howard, second by Board Member Briscoe Brown. Ms. Murray, would you please open the polls? Thank you. Now we will have final adoption for board members' salaries and compensation. Is there a motion to approve the board salaries and compensation item?
So moved.
Moved by Board Member Dr. Zeff.
Second.
Second by Board Member Brooks. Ms. Murray, would you please open the polls?
Thank you. Moving into Teacher Appreciation Week, we would like to read a resolution recognizing the week of May 5 through May 9 as designated for Teacher Appreciation Week. The future of Atlanta Public Schools, the state of Georgia, and the United States depends on providing quality education to all students, regardless of background or challenges. Teachers spend untold hours and resources preparing lessons, evaluating progress, counseling and coaching students, educating and performing service to our community. It is paramount to recognize teachers for their commitment to educating our students to graduate college, career, and life ready. We, as the members of the Atlanta Board of Education, do hereby celebrate May 5 through 9, 2025 as National Teacher Appreciation Week.
Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved by Vice Chair McDonald, second by Board Member Briscoe Brown. Ms. Murray, would you please open the polls?
Thank you. Now we recognize National School Nurses Day. This resolution highlights that all students have a right to their physical and mental health needs safely met while in the school setting. Students today face more complex and life-threatening health problems requiring care in school, and school nurses have served a very critical role in improving public health and ensuring students' academic success for more than 120 years. They act as liaisons to the school community, families, and healthcare providers on behalf of children's health by promoting wellness and improving health outcomes for our nation's children. Therefore, we as members of the Atlanta Board of Education do hereby recognize Wednesday, May 7, 2025 as National School Nurse Day.
Is there a motion to approve National Children Mental Health Awareness Day resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved by Board Member Brooks.
Married to a
and,
nurse, I had to,
Second by Board Member Pace.
That would have
Ms.
been a
Murray, would you
talking
open the
to.
polls? I heard 2, 3 people. Right, yeah. Item 7.3. Board Member Brooks and Board Member Pace.
It's not, I don't see anybody else up there.
Which one? Okay, but this is 7-3. Thank you. Next, we'll move to National Children's Mental Health Awareness Day. This resolution highlights that mental health is important for our individual well-being and vitality, as well as that of our families, communities, and businesses. In February 2020, the Atlanta Board of Education authorized the superintendent to implement practices and procedures that ensure students affected by childhood trauma are provided with the necessary interventions and aid to address that trauma, reduce re-traumatization, and improve student academic and emotional growth. The need for comprehensive, coordinated mental health services places upon our community a critical responsibility, and it is appropriate that a day should be set apart each year for the direction of our thoughts toward our children's mental health and well-being. Therefore, we, as members of the Atlanta Board of Education, do hereby celebrate May 8, 2025 as National Children Mental Health Awareness Day.
Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved by Board Member Briscoe Brown, second by Board Member Jessica Johnson. Thank you.
And it says voting for this item is now closed. No, this is for
So we had a mix-up. Item 7.2 and 7.3. 7.2 was National School Nurse Day, and I said 7.3, which was National Children's Mental Health Awareness Day. So we already voted for National Children's Mental Health Day. We just need to vote for item 7.2, National School Nurses Day. Apologize for the confusion.
Item reversed.
So we're gonna do a voice vote. I'll have Mr. Wilborn do a roll call, 1 through 9.
Miss Katie Howard,
Yes.
Miss Aretta Baldwin,
Yes.
Dr. Ken Zeff,
Yes.
Miss Jennifer McDonald,
Yes.
Miss Erica Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Tolton Pace,
Yes.
Mr. Alfred Shivery Brooks,
Yes.
Miss Cynthia Briscoe Brown,
Yes.
and Miss Jessica Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Wilborn.
Now we will transition to the resolution setting board compensation. This resolution acknowledges that the Atlanta Board of Education's current salaries have remained unchanged since at least 2021 and do not reflect the time and responsibility required of its members, and resolves to modestly increase annual compensation. While a city commission recommended significantly higher pay, the board chose a more conservative raise to balance fiscal responsibility with fair compensation. Effective January 1, 2026, the chair will earn $37,000, the vice chair $36,000, and the other board members $35,000 respectively annually.
Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Properly moved by Board Member Brooks,
Second.
second by Board Member Dr. Zeff.
Thank you. Next, we will transition into estimated rollback rate. This resolution acknowledges that the Atlanta Board of Education, in accordance with state law and its authority to operate and fund the city's independent school system, has calculated and certified its estimated rollback property tax for 2025. This rate, required under Georgia law and subject to change when final tax digests are available, is set at 19.693 mils for both Fulton and DeKalb counties. The board has also opted out of the floating homestead exemption outlined in HB 581.
Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Properly moved by Board Member Briscoe Brown,
Second.
second by Board Member Dr. Zeff. Ms. Murray, would you please open the polls? Thank you, Ms. Murray. Madam General Counsel, does the board need to report out from executive session?
Yes, Madam Chair, the board needs to take action on 3 items.
Okay.
First, I request a motion that the Atlanta Board of Education accept the hearing officer's findings of fact and recommendations dated April 15th, 2025, and terminate the employment of Paul Turner.
Yes, thank you. May I have a motion for the Atlanta Board of Education to accept the hearing officer findings of facts and recommendation dated April 15, 2025, to terminate employee Paul Turner?
So moved.
Moved by Board Member Briscoe Brown, second by Board Member Baldwin.
Next, I request a motion that the Atlanta Board of Education accept the hearing officer's findings of fact and recommendations dated April 28th, 2025, and terminate the employment of Valerie Crudup.
May I have a motion for that the Atlanta Board of Education accepts the hearing officer findings of facts and recommendation dated April 28th, 2025, to terminate employee Valerie Crudup?
So moved.
Moved by Board Member Briscoe Brown,
Second.
second by Board Member Iretta Baldwin.
And finally, in Student Appeal 2025-05, I request a motion that the board uphold the hearing officer's findings of fact and recommendations.
In the Student Appeal 2025-05, may I have a motion to uphold the hearing officer findings of facts and recommendations?
So moved.
Moved by Board Member Briscoe Brown,
Second.
second by Board Member Baldwin. Oh, Board Member, Vice Chair McDonald. So it was Vice Chair McDonald with the second.
Iretta.
Can you vote? You just have to close your public. Thank you. The board travel report is a monthly report that details district-funded travel for board members in the board office, including the total year-to-date spending. The detailed financial report is a monthly report that details revenue and expenditures of the Consolidation General Fund. The special revenue report is a monthly report on grant budget adjustments and amended budgets. The quarterly student activity report provides information regarding the receipts and disbursements to schools. The construction status report is a monthly report on active construction projects that are primarily funded by the voter-approved special purpose local option sales tax.
Each of these reports can be found under the Information tab in Assembly.
Please note that we have launched our board meeting recap videos, which can be found on our website for our stakeholders who cannot attend our monthly meetings. We want to provide every resource available to facilitate stakeholder engagement.
Thank you for joining us this evening. We hope you have a good night. I would like to entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved. Second.
Properly moved by Vice Chair McDonald, second by Board Member Baldwin. Meeting adjourned.